You may not know this about me, but I am a complete and utter book nerd. I am always reading at least one book, but right now I'm actually reading 4. So, when it was time to choose the nonprofit organization that I wanted to highlight for Podcasthon, I knew I had to choose a bookish one. Today, I'm sharing a conversation I had with Jennifer Jenkins, the CEO of Operation Literacy. I love what Operation Literacy does to help foster reading and storytelling in their community, and I can't wait for you to learn more about them. Jennifer, I'm so excited to have you on the Friendly Podcast Guide today. We won't be talking about how to grow your show in this episode. This is a special episode where I get to highlight one of my favorite organizations that's helping kids get more books, which is like so amazing. I'm so grateful for all of the work that you do.
Thank you so much. I'm excited to be here.
I'm so excited too. Before I forget, I do have to ask you, what are you currently reading? We're talking about books, so we have to talk about what we're currently reading.
So I've been on the Pierce Brown bandwagon.
Oh, totally. Yeah.
And I finished Red Rising last week, and I'm on, is it called Golden Sun? I think it's Golden Sun. The book two,
right.
book two in that series. And yeah, I mean, gory and bloody and very psychological and all of that stuff. But I really love it. I really love it.
Yeah.
And maybe we can convince Pierce to come to StoryCon or something next year.
Oh my gosh, that'd be so fun.
It would be cool.
Yes. I love Red Rising. I read it a while ago and I still recommend it to so many people. I feel like my entire family had to read it. I was like, hi, this is your next book that you will be reading.
Enjoy.
But yes, it is a little bit gory, but so good. Like, that story is just so compelling. I love it. I'm currently reading, I think it's called Kill the Beast. Yeah, it's a cozy fantasy. I will show it to you because of course I have it with me.
Fun.
It's been a delightful read so far. You wouldn't think it was cozy because she's a fairy hunter, but it has been so far.
It has been. I love that. That's great. That's great.
Okay. Now that we've talked books because we had to, tell us, what made you want to start Operation Literacy?
Wow. Operation Literacy started over 15 years ago. A group of women who were all in a writers group decided that they wanted to use their platforms to give back to the community. All of us had a toe in the education space, as well as the fact that we were aspiring authors and in various, stages of getting published traditionally. And so we decided we wanted to host like a first chapter contest or something that would be very validating to young aspiring writers. And as we kicked the idea around a little bit, we realized that we were thinking too small. And really what we needed, there's so many camps out there and opportunities for like a football camp or a dance academy or camp, or, there just was a lack in the space of the arts, specifically in writing. And so we created the Teen Author Bootcamp. Our first year was 2011. I think we had like 130-ish kids in attendance.
That's so awesome.
And it felt like a huge success. And it was a very eye-opening experience. We had no idea that we would be able to have the impact that we set out to. We were hoping that we would maybe inspire a few young kids to pick up a pen, right? And what ended up happening is that we uncovered this huge need, and the community responded really well. After that first year, we doubled in size. We went to I think 250 teens the next year. And then we did 500 teens the year after that. In 5 years, we became the largest teen writers conference of its kind in the country that we were able to find. And it was just crazy. But once COVID hit, the evolution of what we were doing, we had to ask ourselves, just like so many event-based companies, who are we and what are we doing and why are we doing it? We knew a lot of those answers, but we also felt like, especially in response to COVID, we needed to do more. And in 2021, we started the Book Drop program, which is where we go into Title I schools. And, our whole organization is about motivating readers and writers. And our MO is that we bring kids to authors And with Book Drop, we brought authors to kids, specifically in Title I schools, where 61% of these kids do not own a single age-appropriate book in their home. So we wanted to give books. We wanted to inspire young children to read those books and to develop an identity as a reader. And so that's how it all came to be. We had an evolution. We had a tween conference as well. We had professional development for educators by this point. And so after about 14 years of doing these, teen centric program, we had a little bit of an evolution. We moved to the Salt Palace. We expanded like crazy, and then into 4 conference tracks. And now we're going to host 10,000 people next month at the Salt Palace. Adults, educators, teens, tweens, and then a whole bunch of people that come through our expo hall, which is free to the public.
I love it. You've done a lot, and it's awesome.
It's a
I
lot.
love it.
Yeah.
What are some of the main ways that Operation Literacy helps the community, helps kids get books? We've kind of already talked about some of them, but I want to dive into it a little bit so that people know all of the awesome things that Operation Literacy does.
Well, we partner in so many different ways with so many different organizations. And if I broke it down into 3 sections, so much of the subject of literacy happens between 0 and 5. There's so much that happens in that space. And so, we are early in the stages of working with primary children's and Intermountain Health to incorporate literacy in well child checkups and making sure that we're giving away books in those checkups and making sure that parents understand the value and the importance of connecting with their child through a tangible book. It's so interesting. There's been research that has proven even reading to a child from a physical book versus a digital book.
Interesting.
Different neural firings happen in the brain. More connections are being made. And so that tactile experience of having a book in your home, I think a lot of people is just so important. I know a lot of people from my generation, and I'm 43. So a lot of people who are, my age and older, we were raised, and you probably were this way too. We were raised with books, right? Like books all over the place. And so it's hard for us to imagine that this newer generation is not raising their children with books. But statistically, we're finding that they're not. And so it's really important that we remember why, when a child reads, they need actually a physical book, especially early on. And that's just one. So we're just starting this partnership with Primary Children's. I'm excited to see where it goes. We also work closely with school district foundations, and we bring book drops into schools, and also work on scholarshiping kids to come to StoryCon in February. So 20% of the kids that actually come to our StoryCon convention, we have in our teen and tween tracks, are come on scholarship. They're Title I. Awesome. They come from the Utah foster care system. They come from several other services and organizations across the state that really need that lift. We help work on getting them transportation. We work with rural communities. We work with the Paiute Reservation and other indigenous tribes, and all of these things. We're just trying to give opportunities to create an equitable experience if we can.
Totally.
And that's part of why we have an adult track at all. Is it's on mission for us to. We love adults, and we have all these amazing authors in town. We want to share the love and do all of that. But our adult ticketing, like when an adult purchases a ticket to come to StoryCon, part of their ticket is going to help pay for scholarships for these kids. And so there's and a lot of people don't know that, right? Like a lot of people just assume that I'm just going to a conference, and you are, and you're going to have an amazing time, and you're going to, it will be incredible. You can go pitch to agents and have a full masterclass experience and do all of these amazing things at StoryCon, but you're also giving back to the community as you attend. And so it's kind of a cool thing.
I love that. And StoryCon it's like the revamped version of Teen Author Bootcamp, right?
Yeah, so our we have a conference that's specifically just for tweens that is completely in its own separate place in the Salt Palace. Like our so it's just kind of like this little island. It's a Friday only event,
Oh,
and it's a
perfect.
little micro conference that happens. But our main stage at StoryCon will incorporate, you will see educators in there, you'll see adults in there, you'll see teens in there. It's a 4,500 seat main stage.
Dang, that's
It's
so many people. That's
massive.
awesome.
It's massive. So it's this huge main stage. And that's where Brandon Sanderson and Soman Shainani and Jennifer Nielsen and Angeline Boyle. And anyway, all of these things will be happening on the main stage. We'll also have an award ceremony that's on the main stage, and some other free programming for people off the streets as well. That will be it'll be Grand Central Station. But once people are done with those keynote sessions, they'll go to different parts of the Salt Palace. So we have an entire floor of the Salt Palace that's specifically for our teen programming. So teens will
Totally.
have their space still. And then same thing with adults and educators. They have their own adult space. So for most of the convention, they'll be in their own space. There's a full expo hall that they can go and explore, all of them, anybody. It's open to the public. It's going to be awesome. So that's all available. But then we come together again for these big keynotes. So
Totally.
the energy of those keynote sessions is going to be just electrifying. It's going to be so cool. But we're trying to kind of give the best of both worlds, right? Like we're trying to provide a professional adult experience for adult aspiring authors or published authors that are in attendance at this event. And these, I should say too, that these are not just authors, right? These are creators. These are storytellers of all types. And so whether you write screenplay, um, or you want to write scripts for theater, you're a lyricist, um, you're into D&D. We have an entire like it's called the StoryCon dungeon. There is a dungeon at
That's awesome.
StoryCon that is intentionally like we'll be running games in there. It's sponsored by Brother Wise Games, and we'll be running games in there and having very D&D centric programming in there. Like we want to. It's called StoryCon because it's meant to encapsulate story, and we feel like all art really has its root in writing. So
Yeah.
so you'll see some different classes at StoryCon too that are if you're interested in another medium of writing outside of becoming a novelist, you might discover a new passion at StoryCon as well. So it's really cool. And we're working with amazing organizations like Angel Studios, for example, and other big companies that represent storytelling. So it's really
I
exciting.
love it. That is so cool. Okay. So we've been talking about all of the things that Operation Literacy does. What are some of your favorite experiences that you've had within Operation Literacy? I'm sure you have a million,
I
but what
do.
are a
I
couple?
do. It's like choosing a favorite book, right?
Oh, I bet.
You know, I feel like I'll tell you an experience that I had just last week. So
I love it.
last week we were in Bonneville Elementary doing a book drop with Jennifer Nielsen and Kristen Crow. And Bonneville is in Orem, Utah. It is a Title I school. We use three metrics to determine like where we go for book drops. So
Sure.
it's obviously their reading scores, but also their free lunch qualifying, like the percentage of their student population that qualifies for free lunch, and then their English learner population as well.
Oh, sure.
What percentage of their students have to learn two languages? There's a lot of correlation that we're finding that these are the schools that have the biggest need, and so we were in Bonneville, and at the end of the presentation, at the end of every book drop, these kids are excited to read these authors' books, right? For an
Totally.
elementary school, we bring in two authors because we do one book drop for our K through second grade kids, and then one for third through fifth or sixth, depending on the makeup of the school. But we finished, I think it was Kristen Crow's drop for the younger kids. And as they leave, Kristen tells them, you know what? Because of, in this case, it was Mountain America that helped us sponsor this drop. Because of Mountain America's donation, we're able to give all of you a free book. And what was really meaningful, and this happens every single time without fail, these kids cheer like it's Christmas. And as they leave the assembly, we get to hand them these books. And they accept these books. And I don't know why this makes me so ridiculously emotional, but they accept these books. Half the time they don't believe that they actually get to keep them. Like, is this mine? Do I turn this into my teacher? Like, they don't understand that this is theirs. When they do, and it's just my favorite image is they hug the book as they walk down the hall to their class, and they just hug it. Look at me. I'm
crying too. It's fine.
It's just very meaningful. Book Drop is a special program because what happens in these assemblies is they realize, and I mean, even as an adult, you probably remember when you're in front of an author, you start to go, maybe I could be an author. Maybe my ideas have merit. And so what we're kind of doing with Book Drop and with StoryCon in general is we're tricking readers into becoming writers. But also just that appreciation for story, it's very addicting. And statistically what's happening is these kids are reading more. They're going in, and we're measuring circulation statistics from their library. And they're reading more. Our Book Drop schools, kids are checking out books more. And it's very impactful. I'll tell you one more really quickly.
I love it.
Another Book Drop thing. Guadalupe School. This is in Rose Park, Utah. Very, very kind of rough area. And I can say that because I used to live there as a kid. But the student population is 97% Latinx. And we had done this incredible book drop with Matt de la Pena. He's a Newbery Award-winning author who flew in from San Diego. We wanted to make sure that these kids got a bilingual experience for their drop. We wanted them to be able to see themselves in this author too. And so Matt came in, he was amazing. And while we were in the parking lot, the way school got out right as we finished, and so we didn't have a chance to escape before the mom brigade came through. So we're in the parking lot waiting, and I'm going to drive Matt to the airport because he just came in for a few hours and then zipped back. Wow. And this kid comes running out, and you can tell it was his abuela that was there to pick him up. And he's like, "Abuela," and he's holding this book, and he's like, "Look, it's my first book." Aww. And he opens it up and he says, "And look, the author put his name in here." And what's cute is we have these book plates that give you, the child gets to say, this book belongs to, and then the author signs underneath, this book plate. So we can ship them off to the author before the event, and they're already in the book before we get there. Totally. Logistically, it works. But, you can guarantee that grandma read to her son that night, right? Like, that book has probably been read a lot of times.
It's probably well worn by now, right?
Yeah, totally. It's just a meaningful experience. The other thing with teens, when we work with teens, we do a lot of contests. We publish, this year we will publish 60 teens in 2 different publications. We have a short story anthology, and then we have a poetry collection. In addition to this, we have first chapter contests and different things that happen at StoryCon. And my favorite part of StoryCon is you have this sea of people. And instead of just announcing the winners, we actually read a passage from their submission. And, and our winner. And we read like a couple of lines. And my favorite, because I'm usually on the stage scanning the audience, like, where is this kid? You know what I mean? And,
yeah, totally.
And you can kind of see like the pocket of energy where this kid is realizing, Oh my gosh, I won.
Oh,
Doing it again.
me too. Oh,
It's
that's so
just,
awesome.
it's so validating for them. And they get to come up on the stage and stuff like that. But that moment where seeing that kid light up, like, I know I won a first chapter contest with when I attended Storymakers. My very first year I attended, I submitted, and I was a winner in 2 different categories with 2 different stories. And it was going into that conference, I felt like such an imposter. I'm like, I don't even belong here. I don't have a degree in English. I'm just not qualified. What am I doing here? And I ended up, being validated in this contest. And I remember going into the breezeway of the hotel, calling my husband and saying, maybe I can't do this. Maybe I can't do this. And I just think about giving that to a child at a very formative age, especially a lot of these kids that love to come to StoryCon, they don't go to football camp and they don't go to dance. This is their thing. And so, anyway, it's just very meaningful. And yeah, I'm sorry. I'm blubbering mess.
You don't need to be sorry. It's something that's important and it means a lot. It's beautiful. It makes me so happy.
Yeah.
So, how can people get involved with Operation Literacy? How can people help?
So right now, I think we're going to have an army of volunteers at StoryCon.
Good.
We need it's something like 200 volunteers to pull StoryCon off, and we are so good to our volunteers. We make sure that they have all the information that they need. We do some online training with them before the event. They donate 8 hours over the course of 2 days. So, and they get a complimentary ticket to StoryCon. And a few other little perks. So if you're interested in volunteering, you can go onto our website. It is storycon.org, and you will see one of the primary buttons is volunteer. We may have filled up our slots to this point. I know we were really close. And so if that's the case, still fill out the form. We'll reach out to you. We constantly invite people to come to book drop events and help pass out books. The other thing, the other way that you can get involved is donate to the cause. We always say if you can donate $10, that is the difference between a kid getting a book and an author visit and them not. So that's another way, and you can do that on our website too. If you're looking for a donation and other volunteer opportunities, you can also go to operationliteracy.org to learn more about those. And we post stuff all the time. So we have summer camps that we do in the summer. So you're welcome to just, hook onto our orbit, follow us on @OperationLiteracy and @StoryCon USA, and you will see that we'll be calling for volunteers all the time. And our fiscal year starts April 1st. And we opened, just this last year, we opened like 30 paid positions within the organization.
That's awesome.
And there's stipends. Like, let's just make sure. This is not going to replace anybody's day job. This is if you have 5 hours a week that you want to be doing some good, we probably have something that you can do. So reach out to us. Let us know you're interested. Tell us about yourself. We need you. We're growing so fast and we have so much to do. We need you. So come on over. The water's nice.
I love it. Thank you so much for everything that you do with Operation Literacy and for talking to me today about it. I'm just so happy that I was able to help more people learn about Operation Literacy, and it's just a wonderful, wonderful thing that you all are doing.
Well, right back at you. Thank you for bringing awareness to what we're doing. It's so meaningful. It's everybody's megaphone is, a different shape and size and color, and we really appreciate the help. So thank you.
Isn't Jennifer absolutely amazing? I cried during this interview, and then I cried again while I was editing it. Operation Literacy is doing so many amazing things. If you want to get involved, I've put all of the links in the show notes. Thanks for being here, and I'll see you next week.